Now then, people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Please smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. Big up to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, all 30,000 of you. Late last night, we achieved that, so thank you for making that dream a reality. Yeah, amazing scenes. Thanks so much. What a week. We will be doing the 30k giveaway live on my next live, whenever that may be. We'll draw that, we'll get into it. But here today, we are going to be diving into the exciting world of football transfers. Okay, Leeds United will be making big moves this season for 2024, and the buzz around the players they're chasing is starting to build. So what we're going to be doing is looking at the 10 latest Leeds United players to be linked. Okay, we are actively pursuing these players, or at least have had chats with these players ahead of the upcoming season. So it's going to be an intense transfer season and window for Leeds United. So buckle up and let's see who could be wearing that white jersey next season. What I'm going to do is run through the 10 latest players that have been linked. We're going to dive into the devil in the details of each player on Leeds United's radar, from their current clubs to their playing styles, and we'll explore how each of these players can bring a new dynamic to the team. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my 3 out of the 10 that have been linked, my 3 that stand out as the jewel in the crown of Leeds United's transfer targets that we've seen so far, and how they have the potential to elevate the team to new heights and ignite the passion of us as Leeds United fans, and get us on the edge of our seats going into next season. So wait around to see and see who I reveal as them key players that can define Leeds United season in 2024. The names are as follows, folks. So we've got Natan, Germa, currently at Regina, Eric Smith at St. Pauli, Bobby Decordova-Reid currently at Fulham, Karamoko Dembele at Brest, Ao Tanaka, who we're all aware of, at Dusseldorf, Silas at Stuttgart. We've got Alfie Gilchrist, Ben Johnson, Josh Sargent, and Atif Kanate. They're going to be the 10 players that we're going to be looking at today. We're going to start from the top. We're going to be talking about Natan Germa, currently at Regina. Now, reports have emerged over the weekend that Leeds United have been watching the Swiss 22-year-old Germa for a number of months now, with talks underway to land the 3.5 million rated ace. But apparently, City at our side, Monzo, are also in the race and are currently leading the way. Now, Natan Germa is a Swiss footballer, currently plays for Regina. Big up to my man, Andrea Russo. His team, of course, his primary position is attacking midfield, and he stands an impressive 6'2", okay? Very rare you get, like, number 10s being physical presences, really. They're normally small, diminutive players, the likes of David Silva, Phil Foden, etc. Germa has made 26 appearances in Serie B over the last season, 23-24, scoring 5 goals and providing just 3 assists. Didn't start all the games. As I said, known for his dynamic and versatile style of play, and some key aspects of his game are his vision, creativity, dribbling, shooting, his work rate, and of course his physicality. Now, 3.5 million, it seems like a snip. Having spoke to Andrea just briefly yesterday whilst live, he said, like, the guy's not even worth $1 million. He feels, Watford have been linked. It's more using Leeds to ramp up that interest, So I value what my man Andrea says over many, many people in the football YouTube sphere. So Natan Germa sounds exciting. Everything you read sounds exciting. But when you actually look at it, the profile of player, what he's actually done, is he going to even be worth 3.5 million? The fact that Andrea says no, and then I'm like, nada, we'll move on. Eric Smith, the next one, St. Pauli manager, obviously on his way to Brighton as we speak, I believe. Now, Sports Bladette say that Leeds are battling Carlos Corberan's West Brom for, they've named him as a centre-back, but He's also a 6, I think more so a midfielder, if I'm honest, but can play in both centre-back and as a 6. Swedish star, could be a replacement for Joe Rodon, is right-footed if Leeds United can't get a deal for Rodon over the line. This is where the English tax comes into play for me, because there are players who are of an equal level of Rodon that will be available across Europe. And maybe Leeds United now, having a full pre-season, a full season of scouting, may look at other options if we do get priced out of that. And of course, Eric Smith could be coined as that. He could be the next Pontus Jansson even, let's say. But he's 23-year-old, as I say, predominant'ly a defensive midfielder from the research I've done. As I say, a physical presence as well, much like Natan Germa, 6'2". It's quite interesting. A lot of the players are quite physical, are physical presence, and that's something you could argue we've lacked this season for sure. Now, he excels in defensive duties, probably why he's apt at playing both as a 6 and a centre-back. Great defensive awareness and ball-winning ability, so that makes him effective in either position, 6 or centre-back. Great at intercepting passes, cutting key passing lanes, breaking up opponents' attacks. Good passing. Again, physically very decent. And as I say, his playing style is more of a 6, so can provide stability in midfield, shielding the defence and distributing the ball effectively. It's quite interesting when you look at someone like Eric Smith, and we're going to talk about Ao Tanaka a little bit later on in the vid as well, folks, that, these players are predominantly 6s, so are we looking for another option there? Are we open to the idea of Gruev going? Is Ampadu going to be kept in at centre-back? It all remains to be seen, doesn't it? And these are all things that we need to go through and think about when we see these players that are linked. Moving on now, we're going to chat about Bobby Decordova-Reid. Apparently Leeds are keeping tabs on him. Versatile forward. We all know about Decordova-Reid, obviously. Previously was Bobby Reid when at Bristol City, then went to Fulham, got promoted, has had a decent career in the Premier League. His contract's set to expire though. I don't know if there's an offer on the table, but he possesses several notable strengths on the football pitch. Yeah, versatility, because he can play in various attacking positions. As a winger, as an out-and-out forward, great at getting in behind. So he can contribute effectively across different roles, which is something, we would need, especially when you're going to be losing the likes of Somerville and Nonto. Keen eye for goal, has scored goals. He's got 20 Premier League goals throughout his career. It's not easy to score in the Premier League. He's got 20. So his positioning, his finishing make him a threat in the final third, goes without saying. Great work rate, great pressing. So from defending from the front, and that's something we need. This season going into it, we need not just the number 9 to be pressing. Everyone needs to do it to an effective rate, and I don't think we had that last season, if I'm honest. Great physical attributes, strength, has pace to burn, can hold off defenders and make powerful runs into, attacking spaces. So in challenging situations, his physical attributes are great, especially at Championship. He'd light it up. And he's also apt at taking free kicks and corners, providing valuable deliveries from dead ball situations, and he's able to pick his spot from free kicks, which again is an area of the pitch that we lack. Now, the big thing with Decordova-Reid is I think clubs in the Premier League will come a sniffing. I think Everton were linked, but we don't know what's going on with Everton, their financial situation. But I think, even in Ipswich, or I think, look, ultimately, yes, we're Leeds United, yes, we're a big club, but if a Premier League club at any level comes in for Decordova-Reid and offers him another, bite of the cherry, he's going to take it. So as much as I'd want Bobby Decordova-Reid, I can't see it happening. Another exciting player now, Karamoko Dembele, only 21, pocket-sized, diminutive player, shined on loan at Blackpool last season from French side Brest. I think he was one of the youngest players to come through, or when he was 15, 16, he was playing with the under-21s at Celtic, obviously well thought of. Then he goes to Brest and has been loaned over to Blackpool. He had a handy 21 goals whilst at Blackpool, has 2 years left on his deal at Brest. We know French clubs do this. They did it with Josh Madger, for example. I think a lot of the European teams now do look to the British Isles for, players to pick up young, cheap, try, build them up. And maybe Dembele's career has faltered a little bit. Maybe they expected more from him. But look, he's a British lad, plays as an attacking midfielder, but can also play out on the right, I believe, known for his flair, technical abilities, can play as a right winger. Several clubs have expressed an interest in him, so it's definitely one to watch. And again, we're going to be in the market for a player of that ability, of that position, when we know players will be moved on, right? Somerville, Nonto, the two that we're straight away talking about, thinking these are a goner. Now, another player that we were linked with last summer, Ao Tanaka, Japanese star. We actually bid for him last summer at 3.2 million, and we're linked to move again. Now, Fortuna Dusseldorf, who he plays for, they'll need to sell him. They missed out on promotion. They want 3 million this time around. Now, I see this as being quite interesting, and also class Eric Smith in this. These players will cost next to nothing. We have a player in Ilya Gruev that's subject to multiple bids now, and we could get around about 15 million for him. You bring him in for 5, you flip it, you triple it, you move him on. Great for PSR. You then look to bring in Ao Tanaka, who you tried to buy anyway. You know, I really like Gruev, but is he replaceable? Can you get another player that is serviceable? Yes, you can. I'd rather we keep continuity and keep Gruev, but if the club are looking to make a quick flip, they can do that and then go and look to a replacement in Ao Tanaka. It makes perfect sense. Let me know your thoughts. Silas at Stuttgart. Now, again, I don't know much about this guy. First time actually seeing this link when doing this, having a look at the 10 players that have been linked more recently. Silas, not one I'm aware of. But apparently Leeds are one of 5 clubs that are after him. These clubs are Lens, Auxerre, Fulham, Villarreal. Straight away, the clubs that are mentioned, I'm like, yeah, nada. Not happening. He only started 9 of 30 games for Stuttgart last season as a winger, but could cost as much as 12.75 million. It's not even in our wheelhouse. Congolese professional footballer, as I say, forward or on the right wing, represents the Congo national team. Primarily, his main position is a right winger, but can also play as a right midfielder and a centre forward. Known for his pace, dribbling skills, ability to take on defenders, and his flair and attacking prowess make him a valuable asset in any side. Exciting player to watch, but with the transfer fee and the clubs that have been linked, it's nada. It's nana for me. Now to some players that we'll be well aware of. Obviously, Alfie Gilchrist came into the Chelsea side last season under Pochettino, played 17 times. Leeds are in a loan deal. This one is a no-brainer for me. Been likened to John Terry when coming up through the youth setup as captain, Chelsea youth setup. Been given his debut season. They want to get him game time all over Alfie Gilchrist. Ben Johnson at West Ham, out of contract actually, June the 30th this month. He's in the retained list for talks, but them talks have brought down on a number of occasions. Leeds and Rangers are monitoring the England under-21 international. Again, Rangers are a huge club, can offer him a route into European football. Maybe he wants to get out of England for a bit, I'm not too sure, but if we can make that happen, 100%. The other one being Josh Sargent, USA striker. Obviously, came up against him on, we came up against Norwich 4 occasions, but he only played in, I think, 2, maybe 3 of them games due to injury. We know Daniel Farke likes him. Scored 16 goals last season. Listen, we'll talk about it. Because I like Sargent, and I'll be on board with it. But having done a bit of thinking, I don't think we get number 9, which might frustrate a lot of people. And then to finish up, we've got Atif Konate, again, one that I've just been reading about today. Forest are set to release the French forward. Apparently, a number of English clubs are keeping an eye on him. They'll know him from Premier League 2. That's where he spent most of his time when at Forest. He signed for them in 2020. Joined the under-23 team, as I said. Played in the EFL Cup fixture against Bradford City back in 21. Then he got his league debut in January 22 against Barnsley when they were in the Championship. Then went on loan to Oxford, 22-23. Didn't really play much there as well. I think he played like 5 times whilst on loan at Oxford. He's an attacking midfielder. Creative, links up play between midfield and attack. His role, he would be expected to create goal-scoring opportunities, providing assists and potentially scoring goals himself. I don't think he's played enough football. I think if you're signing him again, you're signing a prospect or someone that goes in at reserve level. I suppose if it's a free, you can make it happen. But Leeds United need first-team players now for me. So Atif Konate, I'm not too big on. But let's wait and see and watch this space. Now we've gone through and touched on each individual player. What I want to do is just give you like my ace in the pack, if you like, the player that's going to elevate the team. It might sound wild, but my favourite out of all the names linked there would have to be, and I think it's a deal that's really doable, is Alfie Gilchrist. I do Alfie Gilchrist over Ben Johnson if you're looking for him as a right back. I'd also use him as a centre back. That versatility is a key aspect. He's played 17 times, last season in the Premier League for a top side, so that comes with different pressures, so he'll have no problem, fitting in at Elland Road at Leeds United, because again, there's different pressures there when you're in the Championship. The fact that he's been likened to John Terry, regardless of what you think of him as a person, as a professional footballer, he's one of the best centre-backs to ever grace the Premier League. Has captained Chelsea on a number of occasions through youth setups. I think for me, the real ace in the pack would be Alfie Gilchrist. I'd also take a look at Ao Tanaka. Again, we've been linked with him in the past. And if you are definitely looking to flip Ilya Gruev, which there could be a conversation about, then that would be a smart move. But the main one will probably be Bobby Decordova-Reid. But again, I just can't see it. That's a player that will get us on the edge of our seats, and could help define the season 2024-25 for Leeds United. So Bobby Decordova-Reid would be the big one for me. But as we wrap up, let's recap those 10 players that we're chasing in 2024, the latest that have been linked. And those 10 players are Natan, Germa, Eric Smith, Bobby Decordova-Reid, Karamoko Dembele, Ao Tanaka, Silas at Stuttgart, Alfie Gilchrist, Ben Johnson, Josh Sargent, and Atif Konate. It's that time of the season where the excitement is palpable. The anticipation is building. The window opens the same day the Euros started. I'm really excited. I hope you could. And these signings obviously could be part of a transformative period for Leeds United, getting promoted back into the Premier League, being a mainstay in that side. If you're on loan, looking to then, move permanently. So, it's an exciting time. And before we do end the video, I want to hear from you folks, okay? Please share your thoughts on the potential transfers that have been linked, the latest 10 names to be linked, in the comments below. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe for more football updates from Leeds United, from myself. Stay tuned for all the latest news and developments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Leeds.